Good morning. Good morning. Today is, gosh, can you believe it? November 14th, 2024. We are heading into the holiday seasons for real. 2 weeks, it'll be Thanksgiving. It seems unbelievable. I'm so glad everybody is here. Shoot, I'm glad I'm here. And I don't know how many people are still kind of picking up their spirits after the results of the election. But the truth of the matter is that the election has come and gone. And however, the victory of the former now president elect got elected, it is done. And what he's doing is what he said he would do. It's pretty amazing to me that so many people that I've talked to before the election, and I said some of the things that were going to be done, including things that were found in Project 2024. People said, he's just saying that you're overreacting. Well, I think you're getting ready to see. And our country is in great danger of slipping from being a democracy with all of its flaws into being a fascist government. That means that a whole lot of people who think or thought they were safe, we're going to find out, because fascists know no heroes. They have no, the only people that are heroes to them or for them are those who are loyal, and that's really usually only for a time. They will use people until they are no longer useful to them or for them, and then they just kind of get rid of them. This government is following the playbook of many democracies that have fallen into fascism, and we, the people, or you all the people, because I've never voted for him, have voted him into office. People are saying, when it happens, when you feel the results of what he's doing, don't come crying. Do not do that. But my message is more for us who did toe the line, that we voted for Vice President Kamala Harris. And we had great expectations. I say we had great hope. So my message to all of you who voted for the vice president is that we still have work to do. And if anything is going to be done to save us from this takeover, it will have to be we, the faithful, who really do love this democracy and don't hate it like Mr. Trump and his friends do, Mr. Bannon and all that. We who love this democracy will have to work, and we'll have to work through our tears and through our anger. Uh, there isn't a whole lot more we can do. We can sit on the sidelines and cry and complain and write things on social media, but that's not particularly helpful, and it's certainly not useful. So what we have to do is, sometimes when things happen in my life, I'll say, "Oh shoot, my little heart is all over the ground." I'm gonna go around, pick up my little pieces, and put it back in my body. Sometimes you have to do that. You have to pick up the pieces of your heart, and you have to pick up the pieces of your soul and put them back inside of you, and then lean on God. God, the non-judging God, the God who loves everyone, the God who looks at us and sees our pain and feels our pain and dries our tears and gives us the encouragement to go forward when we don't want to. All of that. So this will be a time where we have to lean on God in ways we haven't had to do before. When I was doing interviews of the Reverend C.T. Vivian, he used to always stress to me that the civil rights movement of the 60s was a spiritual movement. And his words came flooding back to me yesterday. And I thought about it, and I thought about how when he told the story of how when he and others were in St. Augustine, Florida, and they were going to integrate a beach because the white folks didn't want the black folks on the beach, didn't want them in the water, please. But anyway, he went, and he couldn't swim, but he went. That was the assignment. They were going to go and integrate the beach. So a whole bunch of black folks showed up at the beach, and they went into the water. And he said that he found himself being pushed underwater by this great big white boy, really great white boy. He couldn't swim. Did I already say that? He couldn't swim. And so he was thinking, well, I guess this is how I'm going to die. And he says he did not even remember how it happened, but all of a sudden that guy was gone, and somebody else was there, and he was being pulled up out of the water. And then when he, opened his eyes and could really see what was going on, whoever it was, he couldn't see him. He didn't know who he was because that person had vanished. C.T. Vivian had a lot of stories like that about how God was in that movement and God was with him at times when he thought he was going to die. And so I think that I'm going to hold on to that story and I'm going to go back through my tapes and listen to that so I can get it all really, really, really precise. But what I want for everybody to know is that this is a spiritual movement and we don't have time to sit around and mope. Ain't got time to die, the spiritual says. Been so busy working for justice, I ain't got time to die. These people who are being elected want to crush us. But in the name of our God, we have to say it's not going to happen. So that's where we are. And I'm sorry, I'm really heartbroken at the results of the election. I have questions about it. But what I do know is a lot of people did not vote. A lot of people voted for him. A lot of people who did vote voted for him because they didn't want a black woman. Oh, it's crazy stuff. That is America. That really is America. So we have been dealt a hand and we have got to deal with it. But we have work to do and we can't sit on the sides. I didn't say it. My name is Reverend Sue. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. I'm the founder of Crazy Faith Ministries. And if ever there was a moment for crazy faith, it is now. Every Thursday, I read a meditation from my book, Rest for the Justice Seeking Soul, which I hope you will purchase. But I also uh, uh, write or give you meditations that I do every single Tuesday. Every single Tuesday. And if you want to be on that list, I ask you to email me at crazyfaith2019 at gmail.com and give me your email address and I will add you to the list. But every single every single Tuesday, I write a meditation and send it out to people on the distribution list, no matter where I am in the world. I miss these Thursday morning live things sometimes, but I never miss writing the Tuesday meditation. So I hope that you will email us, crazyfaith2019 at gmail.com, and so we can add you to the list because if ever there was a time for us to support each other, it is right now. So this week I'm reading one that I wrote, the one I wrote this week, and it's called, you guessed it, Hold On to Hope. And it says, there are two quotes from two different people who offered words that we all need now. The first was from FDR, who said the only thing we need to fear is fear itself. And the second was the battle cry raised by the Reverend Jesse Jackson some years ago, keep hope alive. The results of the presidential election devastated many. With the unexpected and sudden appearance in the presidential race by Vice President Kamala Harris, many Americans felt hopeful, something that had been buried for the past 8 years by the constant presence of the former and now current president elect. When it became apparent on election night that the numbers did not indicate a victory for the vice president, it was as though a pin had been stuck into that balloon of hope, and many of the nation breathed a collective sigh of disappointment. Fear was the primary weapon used by MAGA to guide the outcome of the election, combined with racism and sexism and any and everything that had to do with sexuality and gender issues. The immigrants was an answer given by many as to why they would vote for a man who was a convicted felon and who had incited an insurrection to try to overturn the results of the 2020 election. So-called patriotic Americans who have long touted their commitment to, quote, law and order, abandoned their commitment to those principles which they had long claimed to be important to them. Their fear overtook them and controlled them, and the result was that hope, offered by Kamala Harris, took a severe hit. Though fear grabbed people and held them captive, causing a simultaneous deflation of hope, what is clear is that we cannot let hope go. The election results will affect us all, but no matter how difficult the days are before us, we absolutely cannot lose or abandon our hope. It is what oppressed people have used to survive in an unfriendly world, to fight, and the need for that hope is even more necessary now for the fight that is before us. The psalmist wrote, be still and know that I am God. And I say, God is. God is No matter what happens, God is. I was struggling with how I would open worship this past Sunday because I wasn't feeling it. We always open with "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord." I was not feeling it, and I wonder, would I dare say that? Make a joyful noise unto the Lord to a group of people who obviously would be just as devastated from the about the election as I had been. So I wasn't going to do it. But I got in touch with my pastor, Dr. Jeremiah Wright, and he set me straight. And he said, in essence, you should absolutely open with those words. But his exact words were, yes, because the call to worship is not a call to worship a political victory or a political defeat. It is a call to worship the God who made us in God's image, the Lord who is good, the God whose mercy is everlasting and whose truth endures despite of what humans do, or in spite of what humans do. So I took a deep breath and I did it. And I found that as I delivered the call to worship on Sunday, I began to feel better. It is like laughing. I did our thing a couple of weeks ago on the power of laughter. There is power really in the praise. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Anyhow, it is during our most difficult moments that we need hope the most. Hope gives us momentum and energy and a crazy belief that things will be all right. Hope makes us believe in the impossible and pushes us to reach for that which seems unattainable. Hope made Black people in this country believe that trouble don't last always. Hope is a spiritual tonic that soothes our spirits when fear threatens to tear our spirits to shreds. We will be all right. We will endure and we will fight and we will be all right if we hold on to hope. What we should fear is our capacity to give up and give in to those things people say we should fear. Hope will make us say, no, no, you will not take my hope. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Amen and amen. So I hope that meditation resonates with you. You can look at it. You can get a copy of it if you, again, send me your email address. If you are watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe to our YouTube page and tell other people about it because now we need community. We always need community, but I feel like we need it in a stronger way now because there's so much at stake. And I, for one, don't want to hear when people start crying when they lose Social Security and Medicaid. I mean, they are already doing what they said they wanted to do. He's naming people to his cabinet that are as questionable and problematic as is he. It feels like he's going to get away with all of the things that he did that should have landed him in prison already. It's heartbreaking to think about it, but at the end of the day, we can't sit there in our heartbreak. We got to get up. One more again. One more again. Just get on up and brush ourselves off and look to the hills from whence comes our help and do what we are called to do and what we have done as Black people in the past or as any oppressed people. But as a Black woman, that's where I am. So I hope that, again, that you enjoyed this meditation. I hope that you have a really good day. I hope that you don't watch anything that's going to make your spirit feel worse. I'm not watching any news. I haven't done it for a while, but I'm not going to watch any news. And I don't read dumb stuff on my feeds. I just don't. If it's dumb, I just block it or take it off. Protect your spirit so that you can strengthen your spirit. And let's do this thing called faith walking in the time of darkness. You guys have a good